Guys and girls, it's know it time! Hey, let's get crack-lacking! It's know it time! Know it time!
Yeah, they can. Alright, I want to continue on from part 1 yesterday, which I didn't really finish. And before I do, I'm going to load up that question again. So yesterday, if you can remember, most of you, for number 3, we were on number 3, most of you circled B, but that was incorrect. I'm going to show you the reason why. Write out, see, bacteria question is unique. This is crucial. Highlight the word bacteria, because this is unique question. The reason why it's unique is because you got to change your mode of thinking. In the beginning, I started with 500 bacteria. So write down your first number right now. So this is 500 bacteria. Oh, we're working through this. Yeah. The best way to do word problems is to work through it slowly.
Do you want us to take notes on the sheet?
Yep. Now, I ask you to come up with the next number, because you always come up with 3 numbers. Junior, what's the next number going to be? 1,000 is correct. So be careful about this one. See, this is 2 hours later. 2 hours. That's 1,000. Whoop, missing a 0. 2 hours after that. 2 hours after that. Deep, what are you at? 2,000. Here's where the confusion lies. In 2 hours later, are you at 1,000 or are you at 1,500? That's, you gotta be careful about this one. How many bacteria are there in total after 2 hours? 1,000. So think about this. See? Let's think about this now. Would you agree? Let's write this down. After 2 hours, there are 1,000 bacteria total. So you gotta be careful about this one. 1,000 bacteria total. Because those 500 became 1,000, not 1,500. That's where the flaw lies. So now, it says, how many bacteria will there be after 24 hours? First of all, Craig, is this geo or arithmetic?
Geo.
This is a geo, is correct. Evan, haven't asked your file. Are you looking for a TN or SN in this case?
You're looking for
This is
4 hours, so it'll be SN.
That's where majority went wrong. It's not an SN question. It's a TN. Because it lies in this statement right here. It says, after 2 hours, there will be 1,000 bacteria total. They're asking you how many bacteria there will be after 24 hours. So in reality, this is a TN question. I'm going to pause it. Let you guys. Here we go. I go AR N minus 1. Now the question really is, a lot of you know what A is, so let's plug in. A is 500. R, I know is going to be 2. Now, this is where a majority of students will make error. The value of N is crucial. See, every 2 hours, so I'm going in by 2 hour interval. So therefore, it's not 24 anymore. It's going to be not 12. That's where majority think it's after 12. Because if I look after 2 hours, I'm looking this term, so really this I think is going to be 13 minus 1. Okay, so let me explain again.
24 divided by 2 is 12.
Write down 12 blanks for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's erase some of this to make room. So let's do it down here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every gap is 2 hours, agree? Here's 2 hours. 4 hours. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24. Oh. But see, I'm missing, so 24. So after 24 hours, what term am I looking at? 13th term. Think about that logic. See, when I write it out, see, look, every time I do this, 2 hours, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. What term am I really looking for? 13th term. That's the third twist to this question. Because it says after 24 hours. See, highlight this. Again, wording is crucial. After 24 hours. So after 24 hours ends, I'm at the 13th term. This is where you one slight change in wording changes the question.
So if it said where will it be at 24 hours?
It has to be after 24 hours because there's no such thing at 24 hours. So really, I'm looking for at the 13th term. So now, go back and redo your question correctly. So the answer is A. That is your true answer. Hi. How do you get 13? Okay, here's the reason now. Let me explain this one more time. Would you agree this is my first term? Second term. Every blue bar is 2 hour interval. Here's 2 hours, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, so on, so on. This is 24 hours right here. After 24 hours, I'm looking for this term. So this term is actually the 13th term. That's how. So that is how we do bacteria question. Question number 4. There's a new word here I need you to highlight. Some of you know the meaning of this word. Some of you don't. This word is going to be half-life. What does it mean, Craig?
Time it takes for a substance to like 50 cut in half.
Good. Half-life is a biology or chemistry term, whatever course you're in. And this is the time it takes something to decay to half of its starting point, of its previous value. Okay? So I'm going to give you an example of half-life, previous value. If I start with 100 grams, what is my next term going to be? 50, because it means half-life. So this is 50. That's what half-life means, 25, so on, so on, so on. Now, my question to you really is, a mine worker discovers an ore sample containing 500 grams of radioactive material. The radioactive material has a half-life of 1 day. Find the amount of radioactive material at the beginning of the sample at the beginning of the 7th day. I'm going to pause it. Let you guys... as our class, most of you voted A. Some of you voted B. 2 people voted C. So, I don't know who's right, who's wrong yet. Majority of you are voting A. So, let's do this right now. I'm going to write out my pattern, because I always tell you to write out your first few numbers. So, this is 500. And this is, think of it as day 1. Okay? Day 2, you're at 250. And this is day 2. 125 for day 3. ... Kieran, geo or arithmetic? It's a geo, is correct. Harmon, TN or SN? TN is also correct. See, this is a game now. A lot of people will tend to ask me to know, is this a TN or SN or a test? I can't help you out if you ask me that. I will walk away. So you have to plug in now. So this is 500. Isha, what's your R value?
My R value. Hold on. Is it 0.5?
It is 0.5. Here comes the fun part. Gerline, what's your n value? Sorry? Your n. N. N is 7. Because notice how I worded. So A, no, it is 7 minus 1 is 6. Oh, whoa. So the answer is 7.8. Hi. No. See, day 1, you're at, this is day 1 right here. You're at 500. Day 2, 250. Day 3 is 3rd. So day 7 is the 7th term. No. Exactly. Nope. It's actually 7. Nope. Okay, let me explain this one more time, guys. Day 1 is first term, agree? Beginning of day 1 is first term. Beginning of day 2 is second term. Beginning of day 3 is third term. So beginning of day 7 is what term? 7. So that's why n is 7. That's why in a lot of these you gotta be flawless with word problems. Now, grab your book out. We're gonna write some stuff down for me, please. So that was a basic intro. Here's part 2. The last 2 type of question is challenging. I call this type, next one, tricky R values. So this is the next one you gotta be careful about. Tricky R values. So there are questions where the R value is very, very tricky. You gotta be careful about this type of question. I'm gonna give you a question, and you're gonna do this very simple, okay? And this, it goes back to a simple question. It says this: an oil well company produces 50,000 liters of oil per week. 50,000 liters of oil per week. The production of oil decreases by 3% each week. 3% each week. I'm going to ask you several questions. A, we'll start off easy. How many liters of oil is being produced Hi. That's for you to figure out. How many liters of oil is being produced on the 17th week? That's your first question. I'm going to pause it and let you figure out on your own first. So I have this oil well company. Produces 50,000 of liters on week 1. Week 2, they notice there's a drop by 3%. Week 3, another drop. If this pattern continues on, what is being produced on the 17th week? I'm going to pause it. First of all, I want you to highlight a few things right now. Highlight this word that says decrease by. Very, very important stuff. If you're planning to do Math 12, these words will kill you a lot. Because a lot of students figure out. See, first mistake, a lot of people say, hey, Mr. R equals to negative 0.03. That's the first mistake. We'll cross that out. That's not correct. Then I heard somebody say, Mr. then that's easy. The R is 0.03. That's also not correct. See, there are many ways of doing this. Let's start with 50,000 first. Write down 50,000. I'm going to show you method 1. We'll call this the brute force method. Method 1, write out your first number. First number is 50,000. If you decrease by 3%, what is the second number going to be, and how do you get the second number? Using brute force. Well, what we're going to do is you go 3% of 50,000. So punch in your calculator right now. 3% of 50,000. So go 0.03 times 50,000. But what are we going to do with that? That's how much you're losing by. So you're going to subtract this by 50,000.
Is it easy to just multiply it with 0.97?
I mean, that's called brute force method. 48,500. Okay. I took 3% of 50,000, then I subtract from 50,000, because that's how much I'm losing by. So each week I'm losing 1,500 liters of oil. So now I'm going to do this again, the third number. So, but now we're losing 3% of this number. So we're going to do this again. So it'll be 3% times. But then we're going to subtract, remember, minus 48,500. 47045. 47045. This pattern continues on. You got to figure out R value from here. Well, to find R value, I taught you how to find R value. You take the second term divided by the first term. And if you do that, you get 48500 over 50,000, which gives you 0.97. That's your R value. That's correct. See, that's called brute force, because you're doing a lot of work just to get that value. But method 2, I call this logic. We're not here to use brute force. We're here to use our heads to get R. Yep. Method 2 is logic. Here's how method 2 works. Method 2, you got to think of R in terms of decimals. R equals to 1 means think of it as 100%. Okay? 100%. Okay, when R equals to 1, think of it as 100%. That means not increase or decrease. Oop, my pen is stalling. Now I say decrease by 3%. If you decrease by 3%, really, what percent are you at now? You're at 97%. Because that's another way to think about it. Because when R is simply 100%, normal R is 100%. If you're going to decrease by 3%, your R, what if I say this instead? Oil production increase by 7% per week. Whoa, 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 whoa. So what's our value? 1.07. Now we can do this brute force method, or I can use my logic approach. The logic is a lot better because I assume everything's at 100% to begin with, which is not growing or increasing. But if I increase by 7%, which means I'm adding 7%. Very nice. That's why R, that's 107%, 107% because R has been in terms of decimal. 1.07. Convert percent to decimals, divided by 100. But now, I'm going to get you to do part B. We're going back to this oil well company question. 50,000 liters oil. We didn't do part A yet. It says, how many liters of oil is being produced on the 17th week? Abdul, TN or SN? TN. Use the TN formula right now. So this is, give me 1 second, I have a lot to do. T17 equals to 50,000 bracket 0.97 to the power of 16. punch in your calculator right now. We'll figure out how much, and this is the formula that the oil companies use to predict things. Is the Geo. 16 times 50,000. So which is 30,712. So 30,712 liters of oil will be produced on the 17th week. Now, here comes the final and ultimate part. You're going to need to know how to do this for the super no question after lunch. Those of you that can get this, you'll be in good shape for it. What is the total of oil produced? What is the total amount of oil produced? Of oil produced by this well. By the well. So now my question is, how do you solve this next question?
What well?
Oil well. That's the next thing.
What well?
Oil well.
Oh, what's the oil well?
A hole in the ground and it will produce oil. The exact same question. The question is, what is the total amount of oil produced by the well?
Explain it.
No, in total.
50,000.
Nope, total. And everything when it runs dry.
How would you know?
Nope, not 1 trillion. See, to do this question, the question is, when does the well run out? Because really, what week am I looking at when the well runs out? The answer is infinity. Because if I drop by 3% each time, in theory, I will never get to 0. In theory. Because it would go 0.000 a liter, 0.0006 a liter. So really, this is an infinity. So there's a formula for infinity, thank goodness. S infinity equals to A, which is 50,000, over 1 minus 0.97. This is a part where a lot of students can't figure out. Say, Mr. Why is infinity? Because if I'm waiting for the well to run out, it never runs out in theory. Because it's always 97% of the previous term, so it would be so small, that's really an infinite question. So which is 50,000 divided by 0.03. Grab your calculators and do this right now. 50 divided by 0.03. You get 1.7 or 0.67 million roughly. So look what I did right here, which is roughly 1.67 million. If I round it, 1.67 million liters of oil. No, you don't have to.
On the test, we just write 16666.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, oil. So in theory, the maximum output of this well is 1.67 million. And this is why you need to know the infinity formula. This is the build-up to your supernova question after lunch, and it will be a very different challenge. It will be a time challenge, and we'll explain it how it works after lunch. Don't be late, because if you are, you're going to be missing out on So let's do another question, supernova question. No, I forgot to record. Did it? Guys, Baraj, let's focusing. Here's your question for today. It says, a ball is dropped from a height. This question appears on every single exam, every single test, in every district. There's this question, from a height of 40 meters. Okay? Nope. It bounces back to 60% of its previous height. Okay. Uh-oh. Previous height. Yeah. I gotta wait until this weird IBM thing disappears. I pressed the wrong button. It's just loading. So it says a ball is dropped from a height of 40 meters. It bounces to 60% of its previous height. Find the total distance. So I'm going to write down the question now. Find the total distance. Sorry, I should say total vertical distance, but same thing. Total distance traveled by the ball by the ball. So find the total vertical distance traveled by the ball when it stops bouncing. I wouldn't get you to go into groups of 3 if you're sitting by yourself. You're going to submit your answer to me using your smartphone. So I want to see what everyone has. Now, give me 1 second. So what you're going to do is log on to one person in your group. Log on. And there's a twist to this question. I'll show you the twist after. There's a reason why I call it bounce below bounce. Now, your time ends when the music stops playing. Well, that's when that's when I end the thing. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. I'm going to pause my recording. So, these are all your responses. 100. 66.7. Craig, 153. Zach, 160. Cassie, Dylan, 160. And Brendan's 180. I don't know who's right, who's wrong yet. So let's do this right now. Copy this question down for me, please. So, the best way to do this is to draw a little diagram. Here's my diagram. Okay? So, here we go. First of all, I always say you write down the first 3 terms. So my first term is 40. What's my next term going to be? 24. Because it's 60% of the previous height. So next term is 24. What's the next term after that? 14.4? 14.4. So, a lot of you got the first part right. Next thing. Gurney, is this geometric or arithmetic? This is a geo. That is also correct.
Mr. No,
Hi.
if you're taking 60% out of the 40, it's 24, and they'll just subtract
No,
24 from
because I didn't say increase or decrease by. Did I say just 60% of the previous height? That's it. Okay? So now, the next question I always ask students, is this a TN or SN formula? I'm going to show you in a second. It is an SN formula. But more importantly, when does the ball stop bouncing?
Never know.
You don't know when it stops bouncing. It's an infinite question. The reason why is, if I keep bouncing 60% of its previous height, in theory, it will never get to 0. Because it goes like 0.0001, then 0.00000001. It will never stop. So this is actually an infinite question. So a lot of you went 40 over 1 minus, now the R value in this case is equal to 0.6. Because it's 60% of its previous height. So this is 60%, 0.6. So therefore, this is going to be 0.6. Sorry? Did you get my first terms, 40? Second term? Third term, because it says 60% of previous height. No, because that's called increase or decrease by. Okay? I just have 60% of previous height. Next. So a lot of you went 40 divided by 0.4. Punch in your calculator for me, please. 40. So, some of you say, hey, so that's easy. My answer is 100. I look at here, and not a single, oh, one person says 100. Two people says 100. But That's not the answer yet. Because I nicknamed this word problem, highlight, well, look what I call this question, bounce below bounce. Because why did I call it bounce below bounce? It goes up and down. It's a bouncing question. See, I don't know what Harmon said. So, we got to do something to this 100. You have to do one more thing to this 100. See, you got to do so. This is a ball question. You got to go 100. No, times something. See, what you did was you only did the downward height.
Times 0.6.
See, in reality, let's look at the number if I do this carefully. It dropped 40. It went down 24, but it goes up 24. It goes down 14.4. It goes up 14.4. So in reality, all my numbers are double. Because I'm doubling every single number. Well, I didn't double the first one. So I got to times this by 2. So we got to times it by 2 because look at what I did. See? It went 24, 24, 14.4, 14.4. But now I have 200 meters. So let's write down 200. This is the sort of thing you got to have to understand why. Like I said, if you can figure out why I nicknamed it bounce below bounce, you can figure out how to solve this question. Oop.
Is that the answer, 200?
Nope, not yet. So I look at 200 meters, and I look at all your responses. Not a single person have 200 yet. So there has to be some sort of more trick to this. If you look at my number, I double everything but one number. 40. Because it never bounced back to 40. But when I double this, they're assuming I double the 40. So what I have to do is I got to subtract 40. Which is 160 meters. 2 groups. Zach, your group got it. And Cassie, your group got it.
Mr. No,
Hi.
you actually got to put the 1 beside mine.
What?
You wrote 166.67.
Yeah.
Mr. No, you forgot to put the 1 beside
Oh, I forgot, please. I didn't type it in. You forgot.
We forgot. That's what I'm like.
But it's 160, not 166.7. 160. Whoa, round it up. Oh, please, take pigs. So, the answer is 162 groups got that question correct. This is the level you got to work with. Try part B.
Is that no question too?
No. Part B says, find the height I don't know yet of the ball after the 10th bounce. Guys, copy this down. Every single exam, you better know how to work with bounce below bounce question because it's famous. The reason why students forget to multiply by 2 and minus the original. 99.9997. Find the height of the ball after the 10th bounce. I'm going to pause it. Right off the bat, I'm asking for the height after the 10th bounce. So really, I'm looking for Tn this time. But what is the value of n? Is it 10 or is it 11? 11. Because after the 10th bounce, I'm at the 11th term. So this is T11 equals to, go back to my question, 40 times R, 0.6 to the power of 10. Punch in my calculator right now. times bounds below bounds 0.24 18. So really, that's the height of the ball after the 10th bounce. This is how we work with the last type of question. In reality, all word problems is the exact same thing. Oh, is it 0.024? No, it's 0.2. Hi.
Why am I getting the wrong one? I became 4 last one.
I'm going to give you one last question. Try this, guys. Then I'm going to give you back your quizzes. Sorry? Here we go. Hang on. Too noisy over there. One last question. Try this on your own. A ball. No. I want you to be able to do this on your own now. Is dropped from a 20-meter height. Drop from a 20-meter height. Okay. It bounces back to 30% of its original. 30% of its original. Here is your question. Find the total, again, this is just trying to know now that you should be able to do it, distance traveled altogether. Traveled. Go. I'm going to pause it. Hi. So right off the bat, I know this is an S infinity question. So I go 20 over 1 minus 0.3, which is 20 divided by 0.7. 20 divided by 0.7 gives you 28.57. But that's not my answer. Because a lot of you forgot to do one thing. Times by 2, but we're not done yet, even in times by 2. Times 2 minus 20, which is 37.14. Hi. So you got times 2 minus the original. So which is 37.1. And that, how do you get 0.3? Because it says 30% of its previous height. 30% is 0.3. No. 30% of 20 is whatever, is your second term. But then your R value is going to be 0.3 regardless. Your work. Page. Your work. 63. Number 8. No, I'm going to spread things out because I got to find it. Number 15. $18. Hi, what's going on? One more new chapter. Hi. Oh yeah, I got 2 more chapters. Not that bad. No, that's it. We're done. Page 54. Numero 9. 10. Because I have to find all the word problems spread out everywhere, so it's hard to find it all at once. Hi. Page 41. 14. Hi, that's my name. Say it again. Say my name, say my name. Hi, hi, potato, potato, potato.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, Evan? Why are you laughing, Evan? Why are you laughing, Evan?
And one last one, page. 28. Numero 6. Sorry, numero 13. We have a quiz. Your quiz is going to be fairly large tomorrow. It's going to be on pure applications. Number 13. So applications really is, can you apply everything we've been doing all into one thing?